when Dragon Ball Super returns, and I'm talking about the anime, you have to make sure you do this. Before we get into that though, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel for weekly Dragon Ball Super discussion content, and make sure notifications are on, because YouTube doesn't apparently send them out to everybody, so just double check that they're on. I upload at least 4 videos a week. Every other day is my current schedule, so just keep that in mind. But what I'm referring to when the anime returns, I think we have to make sure that we kind of keep our expectations tailored because of where we already see how things may go. In fact, as of Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 88, those of you that read the manga would know this. Those of you that don't, Goten and Trunks, being that obviously they're now older, we all couldn't wait for the moment they finally grew a couple of years, in, I guess, height and age, most importantly. But we were really anticipating a time skip. It happened, obviously, as of the superhero movie. They're a little bit older, they're in their teenage years, and what does Dragon Ball Super decide to do with them in the manga? Turn them into Saiyaman 1 and Saiyaman 2. Now, for the record, as quirky and as goofy and silly as the whole Saiyaman gimmick is, I do like it for its comedic purposes. Personally, do I take the Great Saiyaman seriously? I mean, no. Who really does, right? But when it comes to Saiyaman 1 and Saiyaman 2 being Trunks and Goten in that order, what are your thoughts? If you obviously read the manga, you already know this. What were your thoughts when you saw it for the first time? And if you're now hearing this for the first time in this video, and you can probably see the images on screen as well, is this a little bit of a slap in the face to Goten and Trunks? What do you personally, think? Because I've learned on YouTube it's not the best idea to make such a quick judgment unless it's clearly bad. But I think a lot of stuff in the Dragon Ball community is still relatively subjective. So again, the gimmick is goofy, it's silly, no one really takes it seriously. But I don't know if this is the best direction for Goten and Trunks' character. Granted, we know why I think they're doing this. Whether we want to agree or not, Goten and Trunks look up to Gohan, and all of Gohan's nerdiness and geekiness, sometimes they still do look up to him, even when they also kind of make fun of him for some of the stuff he does, like especially Goten. He made fun of, I think, Great Saiyaman in the earlier episodes of Dragon Ball Super's anime for Season 1. I don't know where they're going to go with their characters, because now apparently they're going to be around fighting crime in high school, just as Gohan was as the Great Saiyaman, or at least when he eventually got to that gimmick. So it's really a weird spot to be. And I think just depending on whether you think this is a slap in the face to their characters or whether or not you think this makes sense for where they currently are in their lives, again, that's really subjective. So again, make sure we kind of keep our expectations at a healthy level when the anime returns. We can expect some great fan service. We can expect some cool stuff to happen. Dragon Ball will never disappoint for a season of the anime without, showing us some really cool stuff that's going to be very memorable for a long time. But you have to understand there's probably going to be quite a bit of filler. There is going to be some goofy stuff because, again, Dragon Ball is technically getting bigger. The longer it stays relevant and the longer it continues to extend the story, it doesn't matter about fans that come in and go. There are more people, especially younger audiences, getting into Dragon Ball, and that's why Toei and just the whole crew, they're making so much money now, much more than they have when Dragon Ball Z was, essentially at its height for most of us, obviously during our middle school, high school years, whenever you first got into it. So let me know your thoughts, comment section below, in regards to Goten and Trunks being Saiyaman 1 and Saiyaman 2, and what you think this means for their characters going forward, and whether or not we'll see them get a little bit more serious and out of those costumes. Granted, we know what happened with Gohan. Eventually, he ended up tapping into his potential unleashed through, the Kai, and turned out to be one of the strongest fighters that could have defeated Buu at the time if he would have taken the fight seriously. So are they going to do a similar thing with Goten and Trunks? I don't know. Comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Appreciate you guys for the love and support. Again, make sure those mobile notifications are on, because YouTube does not like to send them out to everybody. I upload 4 times a week, every other day. Those days will vary, but just know every other day, if there's a video posted today, the next video won't be posted until obviously 48 hours from now. So just keep that in mind. Unfortunately, it's all the time I have for you right now, but I will see you all later. Goodbye.